All right, let's kick off another deep dive. Today we're diving into the world of internet domains.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, they can get some pretty crazy prices. And the one we're looking at today is really pushing it to the limit, AI.com. It's up for sale for $100 million.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard that right.
That's a lot.
It is.
For a domain name.
Huge. Our source for this one is this article titled AI 1460 yen.
So.
Yeah. It translates to AI.com, listed for 146 billion won. A new record in the domain market.
Wow.
So many zeros.
Yeah. It really begs the question, like, is it really worth that much?
Right. Like, what could possibly justify such a massive price tag?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to understand this, you got to kind of get the domain market.
Right.
Think of them like virtual addresses, out there on the internet.
Okay.
And just like in the real world, the shorter, the more memorable, the more relevant the address, the more valuable it becomes.
That makes sense. But we're talking about $100 million.
I know.
This isn't like buying a skyscraper.
Right.
This is just a couple of letters.
Yeah, it's true. But those letters, they can hold a lot of value. I mean, Voice.com sold for $30 million back in 2019.
Okay.
And AI.com is even shorter, more relevant, especially, right now. And this one's being handled by a pretty big name in the domain world, Larry Fisher.
Larry Fisher. So who is this guy? Is he like the domain whisperer?
Pretty much. He's brokered some of the biggest domain sales in history.
Really?
I'm talking Messenger.com,
okay,
to Meta, Teams.com, to Microsoft, even Skincare.com, to L'Oreal. And get this, he also sold Chat.com to HubSpot, and they flipped it to OpenAI.
OpenAI, the ChatGPT people.
Yep.
Interesting. So it seems like this guy, Larry Fisher, he knows how to find valuable domains.
For sure.
Especially in, this booming AI world.
Right.
But how does he come up with a number like $100 million for AI.com?
Well, it's a bunch of things.
Okay.
Like, the AI boom is undeniable. Right. Companies are spending a ton of money just to get a good online presence.
Right.
So a name like AI.com.
Yeah.
Super short, memorable. It just gives you instant brand recognition, authority. It's like owning the best billboard, but digital for anything AI.
Okay, but is the name really enough? Like, what does it actually offer? Like, tangible value?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Owning AI.com isn't just about having a cool name. It's about what you do with it.
Yeah.
You could make it like the ultimate AI hub.
Okay.
All the information, a marketplace, a place to learn about AI.
So you actually bring in money?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But $100 million is still, it's a big bet.
Huge.
Right. So what are the risks? I mean, what if the whole AI thing, it's a bubble?
Right, like the .com bubble.
Exactly. Remember all those companies with the fancy domain names?
Yeah.
And they just
went bust.
Yeah. So the question is, what makes AI.com different?
Right, yeah.
That's what anyone buying it needs to think about.
Okay, so we've got this domain, potentially a gold mine. The super agent behind it.
Right.
A giant price tag.
Right.
It shows us the potential and the risks, for sure. But there's something else I find really interesting. The owner.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know who they are. The article says a company called Future Media Architects.
Okay.
Bought it in 2021.
Right.
But they're just a front for the real owner. So who is this mystery person? And why all the secrecy?
Yeah, that is the million-dollar question.
Right.
And the owner, they did say something interesting.
Right.
They said it had nothing to do with artificial intelligence. It was just vanity. Because it was the same as my initials gave. I was accidentally ahead of my time. I'm truly blessed.
So basically they just stumbled into this digital gold mine.
Looks like it.
Talking about being lucky.
Yeah, right place, right time.
Wow. But it also shows you how unpredictable the domain market can be.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's just pure luck.
So this mystery owner adds a whole new twist. Why do you think they're selling now?
Well, I mean, they've had it for a while. Maybe they see this AI craze and they're like, okay, time to cash in.
Yeah.
Or maybe they realize that owning a domain like this, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And they're ready to pass it on. It's anyone's guess.
Speaking of passing things on, let's talk about these redirects I've been reading about. Apparently, AI.com has been redirected to different AI companies.
That's right.
Over time, like ChatGPT back in 2023.
Yep.
How does that even work? And why does it matter?
So the website, it's been redirected, almost like shining a spotlight on different players in the AI world.
Interesting.
And these redirects, they're not random. They're calculated moves to boost the domain's value.
So they're basically saying, hey, look, AI.com leads to all these important AI companies.
Exactly. Like a seal of approval. When you see AI.com points to a reputable company,
Right.
it adds legitimacy. It's a clever way to build excitement and make it seem even more valuable.
It's like they're showing off the best of the best in AI. So where's it pointing now?
Right now. It's DeepSeek. DeepSeek. Okay. So we've got this mysterious owner, these strategic redirects, and this record-breaking price tag. It's a really fascinating story. But let's get back to that main question. Is AI.com really worth $100 million?
That, my friend, is the $100 million question.
Yeah.
To answer that, we got to dig deeper. What could someone actually do with AI.com?
Right.
How could they turn it into something that makes money? Well, think of the possibilities. AI.com, it could be like the ultimate AI hub.
Okay.
Everything AI, all in one place.
Yeah.
You could have directories of all the companies, research labs, educational resources.
So kind of like an online encyclopedia for AI.
Yeah, exactly. But it could go even further.
Okay.
Think about it. A marketplace where businesses, they can find AI solutions to their problems. Like you need a chatbot for your website.
Right.
Boom. AI.com connects you with the right provider.
You know what? That's a good point. I've seen so many of those AI tools popping up.
Right. Writing assistants, marketing platforms, all this stuff. So a marketplace could actually be pretty lucrative.
Yeah. And then think about the learning side.
Okay.
Online courses, certifications, all on AI.com.
So it's like not just a domain.
Right.
It's a whole empire.
Exactly. And don't forget the branding. AI.com, it's short, it's catchy, it's instantly recognizable.
Yeah.
Owning that name just gives you instant credibility in the AI world. It's like a statement.
Okay, but let's play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
We've seen this before. Tech bubbles, the .com crash. What if this whole AI craze, it's just another bubble?
Yeah.
What happens to AI.com then?
That's a good point. And any potential buyer would have to really consider that.
Yeah.
If the bubble bursts, the value of AI.com could plummet. But there's also a chance that it could, survive, come out stronger.
Really? How so?
Think about it. If the AI market crashes, only the strong survive, right?
Yeah.
The companies with good ideas, good products, loyal customers. If AI.com becomes that go-to platform for AI, then it becomes essential, even if things go bad.
So it's a risk, but it can pay off big time.
Exactly. But there's another side to all of this, and I think it's important to bring up the ethics of AI. AI is powerful.
Right.
Can affect our lives in so many ways, good and bad.
Yeah.
And whoever owns AI.com, they'll have some influence.
So they have a responsibility too?
Exactly. It's not just about making money. It's about making sure AI is used for good.
Right.
Thinking about the bigger picture.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential, the risks, the business side, the ethical side.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about that price tag.
I know, it's a lot.
$100 million. Is that even realistic?
Yeah.
Has any domain ever sold for that much?
Not yet. Voice.com was $30 million.
Right.
This would be more than triple that.
Yeah.
It's bold, that's for sure.
So who would even pay that much for AI.com?
Could have to be someone with, deep pockets, for one.
Yeah.
But also someone with vision.
A belief in the power of AI. Maybe a tech giant wants to be on top. Or a venture capitalist betting on the future. Or even a bunch of companies teaming up.
Like a mega AI alliance.
Yeah. It would be a huge statement.
Right.
Like, AI is the future and we're all in. It would be a huge moment for AI.
It would be. Okay, so here we are, back to that original question.
Yeah.
We've looked at the potential, the risks, that crazy price tag.
It's a lot.
Now, I want to turn the tables a little bit.
Okay.
Put you in the hot seat. If you had $100 million,
whoa,
would you buy AI.com?
It's a tough one. You wouldn't just be buying a name.
Right.
You'd be buying into a whole future where AI is, everywhere.
And like we talked about, there's a big responsibility that comes with that.
Oh, absolutely.
AI can be used for good or bad.
Right.
And owning AI.com, it gives you a chance to influence that.
Huge influence. You could shape the whole conversation around AI, make sure it helps people. Yeah.
It's a gamble. No guarantees that AI.com will actually become, like, the center of the AI world.
It could be a total flop.
Yeah, it's like uncharted territory. You could strike gold.
Right.
Or, end up with nothing.
So are you a risk taker?
That's the question.
Would you bet it all on AI?
Or would you play it safe? See what happens.
I guess there's no easy answer.
Nope. Depends how much risk you're comfortable with.
Right.
What you think the future holds, and how much you believe in the power of AI.
Well said. And I think this whole deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
even if you wouldn't buy AI.com yourself, it shows us some important things.
Definitely.
This crazy world of domain names,
Yeah.
all the strategy involved, and the potential, but also the responsibility that comes with owning something like that.
It's a big deal.
It is.
And more than anything, I think this whole conversation has really highlighted
Yeah.
just how much AI is changing things. And we got to ask ourselves the tough
But
questions.
what do we want from AI?
Right.
How do we make sure it's used ethically?
Exactly. And who gets to decide all of that?
Right.
Those are the things that will matter in the years to come. And, you know, as you see AI more and more in your life,
Yeah.
keep those questions in mind.
Right.
Because the future of AI,
Right.
it's not just being decided by the big companies or the researchers.
It's all of us.
It is.
Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive into AI.com.
It's been a good one.
It has. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into, well, who knows what corner of the digital world.
Always an adventure.
It is. Until then, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep diving deep.